take in and out, strategically knew exactly how they are going to take him out.
You were busy that day.
A lot has been said about his passing, and we've heard a lot of stories about him. What happened that night?
I think what really happened is that...
But you don't have a recommendation. You not say, I'm in Joburg, but what about...
The industry has always been locked. It's been locked by the white people. So what happened in 1994 when the ANC came into power, Kanye says, take Kim, she wants to go shopping. You're contracted by Kanye West. For instance, Chris Brown will land here. He'll land here at 7 a.m. in the morning. We're at the airport from 5 a.m. You're waiting, everything is set up. 5 o'clock in the morning, you come back with a whole lot of people to the lobby. From the lobby to the hotel rooms. Then you're staying up until all those people have to leave. Obviously, we lock it down. We take everybody's cell phones, put in a box, and we put you in.
No phones.
No phones are not allowed, eh?
Yeah. Tell me about the different convoys. The Blue Light Brigade is always taking me out there.
Yeah.
All right?
It's called a staggered formation.
Okay.
Staggered formation. So you got a vehicle in the front.
Today, long awaited, just got back from the USA. Somebody special, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome
Uncle Anwar.
Dog.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Load Shed podcast. It's an honor having you on today.
Thanks for your time, man. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me, man. I know it's been a long time. Keep promising you, but it's a busy schedule.
Sure.
Yours and mine.
Yeah, we've been meaning to get you on for some time.
But I'm here. Yeah.
Dog. Where does that name come from?
D-O-double-G.
D-O-double-G.
Nah, it came from all my travels.
Just pull your mic a bit forward there.
Yeah, it came from all my travels, overseas, United States. And, from the old school, if you remember, Dog Pound, DPG, Dog Pound Gangsters. So my businesses also has been with DPG, Dog Pound. So I was given that name, Dog.
Okay. Take us through your arrival to where you're at now with all the businesses you've got, all your fingers in the different pies, and the main one obviously being the protection one. How what's the story? What's Dog's story looking like up until now?
It's a long story. You're gonna need more time for that.
It's a podcast.
But I'm just gonna tell you what it's about. It's like I was just a normal guy. Humble beginnings, born and bred, raised by his mom, 5 kids. And we come from, there's time when people say you come from zero. And then I always explain that we came from below zero.
Sure.
Yeah. But the fact that, you choose the world of hip hop and you live your entire life and plan your entire life, your career, your life on the hip hop plan. And one of it was like when Tupac said, is that like you rather live on your feet than die on your knees. And where you come from is that what you wanted to do is like get out of that poverty, get out of everything that's been restricting you. And you looked around and you seen like we in school, guys got far better uniforms than you. Guys got shoes, you don't have shoes. Guys got lunches, you don't have lunches. Fathers are dropping them off. You getting the government bus to school. But it never stopped you because in those days, like everyone wasn't privy to electricity. And then some of your friends down the road had electricity. So you just wanted to be like something better. So being the third son out of 4 sons, and 1 sister in my family. So I have 2 elder brothers and me. I decided that I'm going to be the one that's really going to take my family out of this. And from a young age, I started working and doing things like, and getting out of there. And my first job, I remember, and Josh was asking me about it, is that when was I ever in Pietermaritzburg? So my career started in Pietermaritzburg. So after I matriculated in and I came up to Pietermaritzburg to live with my aunt because there was more opportunities here. And my first job I got, I remember, is like, I mean, I had a matric exemption. And at that time, matric exemption was very, very big, you know. And, you know, most of the guys that were teachers, you used to have like standard 8. Guys that were in the police force were standard 8. And we were standard 10. Now it's all the grades and stuff that's going on. And and what happened is that, like, I decided, no, let me just go and work. And then I walked and I found a job. And my first job was 245 Rand a month.
That's big money.
No, it was very, very small money.
Really? Okay, what year is
100
it?
Rand was for your board.
Oh,
the
my
100
word.
Rand you sent home, the 45 Rand was for you to run the month. It was a security job. And at that time, there wasn't security officers like you see now. There wasn't security people like you see now. It was munching alans. But my whole thing at that age, and some days I always look back and I feel proud of myself that at that age I managed to see this. That let me choose a mess where there's a lot of people in, where I can be seen as the goat in there. I mean, someone that's like really far more educated than everybody that's in there, because everybody has Senate 2 and Senate 3. All the old barbers, the Manchingalans and everything. So I went into that industry. And when I started working, like opening and closing the gates, and I took a like to what I was doing, simply because, I mean, it was my first job, one. It was honest work, and I liked it, because I think maybe I was born for protection. And then from there, it's like people identify you and see that. And one day the guy called me to the office and he said to me, tell me something. Where are you from? So I told him. And what standard of education you got? So I said to him, I got a matric exemption. He said, and why are you in this job? What you doing? Like, I mean, like, you know what I mean? And then I told him I had to start somewhere. And being young at that time, you used to walk wearing this uniform. So all the young ladies, the young guys, everyone, you look at you. But it didn't bother me one bit, because I knew where I'm going to. And then I worked my way up. And then there's a company that came from overseas, from England, came into Durban, and from Durban to Pietermaritzburg. And I read it in a newspaper that they were going to recruit at Alexander Park. So I took a chance and I went there. And they put out aptitude tests for everyone and gave each person an hour. And in 10 minutes, I was done.
Sure.
So I submitted and it full marks. And then the guy said, no, you sit here. Your job is to collect the papers. I knew now I'm getting somewhere. You know what I mean? Then from there on, it was sky's the limit. I worked. I went to all the training courses. I went into, like, because it was a professional company that was coming into the country. Now it was called Grace Security Services. And then from there, but my aim and my whole thing was that I needed to get into the police force. It was always my dream, is to get into the police force. So I went for my interviews at Loop Street Police Station. They turned me down simply because at that time they were taking like Indians and whites. And, you know, for us, it was like a bit
So it's
African.
that time of the year.
So anyway, no problem. I carried on with my security job, went to do all my trainings and stuff, and was transferred I went to become the trainer, where I trained security guards now, and I became a top dog in training. And then I was promoted to the regional training manager, and I was sent to the Eastern Cape region, where I was in charge of 122 men at the age of 20.
No.
21. I was the
Were
youngest
you
person
physically,
ever.
were you a big guy?
I was physically fit. I wasn't a big guy, but I was physically fit, mentally fit, never ever drank, never ever smoked to this day, which I attribute to part of my success. Simply because I stay focused. I don't wake up and not knowing
Where the hell you are.
Where the hell I am. I don't waste no money on alcohol. I'm a sober guy. I have a full 180 degree, 360 degree awareness around me, and I'm focused. I know where I'm going to. And then it's just worked its way out. I joined the police force. I went to police training. And in police training, I excelled. I became a platoon leader there of 68 people. And then from there, I went into Verdrag, which was a special forces training there for 1 year. From there, I was deployed in the special services on the East Rand. And that's where my career began.
Okay.
And then I went through the hardest of times for 7 years
Sure.
during the apartheid times, where half of my people that were with me in my unit were killed, but I survived. And I made it through. And from there on, it just went on. And I went into the political protection side of things. And I just was a protector ever since. And when I've completed the whole protection and I left the police force and I left everything, and then I went into the personal bodyguarding side of things, the VIP protection. But obviously the VIP protection side, and this is a message that will go to a lot of guys that want to enter the industry. And the industry has always been locked. It's been locked by the white people.
All right.
The white people. Simply because remember that the personal protection and the bodyguarding or VIP protection or executive protection, there's a lot of names given to it. It was only done by the white people because the government at the day was the National Party, was the white government. And the white government trained its people to protect white ministers, to protect white prime ministers, to protect white presidents. And when these guys, after 1994, were taken off the guard, no one had access to the proper professional training that was given to those guys, not even members of the police forces. You understand? So what happened in 1994 when the ANC came into power, the ANC came into power where they did not have the highest level of competencies in terms of how well trained and skilled are the guys in terms of VIP protection, bodyguarding, executive protection, in all that encompasses it on its own. And then they locked it and they opened up training schools. They made the training school so expensive that you, as any other race, you would not have the money to access that training.
Sure.
So what happened is that when it was privatized, that a lot of people started using private personal protection and private bodyguarding and private VIP protection. The only companies they went to were the white-owned companies because they were skilled, they were advanced, they came with that experience, and they locked it in. Not knowing there's going to be a human
dog.
being like me.
There's going to be a dog.
That leaves you in your country, gets on a plane, goes to the United States of America, gets all the training that it offers from Secret Service level down.
Really?
Everything,
Oh,
all
so
the
you've got
trainings and
Secret
everything.
Service
Really?
training?
All the training.
That's classified.
We got all the training. I come back here and I work. I get deployed different places. I work. And then what happens is I start training people and skilling those people. And then I broke into the market. And 27 years later, I'm still in the market and I'm leading as far as I'm concerned, because if I look at the A-list and the people that I've protected, it's like, I'm not going to find nobody that's going to have 25% of that number of people that are protected. I'm talking about even the international celebrity protection world. I mean, if you talk about
Who are the
A-list
biggest?
artists,
Who are the biggest that you've protected?
everyone that becomes the biggest are protected.
Really?
You know, I mean, the Chris Browns.
I heard that you and Chris Brown have a good relationship.
We have a good relationship when I was
breezy.
protecting him. And yeah, over two tours I've done with him. I've done the Rick Rosses of the day. I've done
Is Rick
more
Ross
than one
really
tour.
a gangster?
Rick Ross is not a gangster. Rap music is about, you know, and hip hop music
Persona.
is not about when you are a gangster and how you rap about being a gangster.
Yeah.
It's about how gangsterism is and what happens in gangsterism, and you come in and you take it and you rap it, and simply because everybody wants to hear that.
The story.
And the story part about it. But, you know, I take my hat off for guys like Rick Ross in the States, because now he's an entrepreneur of note.
Yeah.
He's a businessman of note. He's taken music and everything else that put him on the platform, and he went and become this big businessman.
Which was the first gig that put you on the map with these A-list celebrities? Which one is the one that opened the big door?
You know, it's very, very strange. And it's like, I've never had a artist as my first artist, international celebrity. I was given 4 artists. My first gig.
Wow.
Boyz II Men.
Yeah. No,
Boys-
not Boys. Boyz II Men came like years after.
Years
that.
later.
Yeah.
So
You
who
know,
were
I
they?
had Manhattans, I had Stylistics, I had Kool and the Gang,
Yo.
Wow.
and then I had Keith Sweat, Deborah Cox, Joe, and Genuine. 4 artists at a time. And in the next batch of artists, I had Sierra, I had Timbaland, I had Fat Joe, I had DJ Scratch, and I had Little Kim. 5 artists.
Wow.
We're talking about 70 entourage, 5 artists traveling at one gig, one time.
Yeah.
So when you talk on the levels of experience,
Yeah.
on handling that kind of entourage and that kind of travel, and so many artists where you got to actually now take in everything that I mean, it was maybe you're not fully versed and fully experienced in everything, but for some reason or another, and I always say this here, that I'm a protector by nature and by trade. And that when you get to that level where you understand that you are protected by nature and by trade, is that when you reach your levels of success. Simply because there's absolutely nothing that you can put before me that I cannot accomplish successfully with a 0 defect. In every single artist, no matter how high, how senior and how high on a rank he is, how powerful as an artist, I've never had a 0 defect. Not one email that said, you were late, 2 minutes late, or you did this, or you failed to pick up an artist at a particular spot, or something of that nature. And simply because our success rate works on the word of mouth, number one. Number two, the levels of professionalism that is applied. Number three, what really makes you also very successful is the fact that you have precision timing in everything that you do.
Precision timing.
Precision timing in everything that you do.
Wow.
I'll give you an example, and I know we're talking all around from where I come, where we go, and it's a lot. But it's I think if you look at it from the outside, if you're sitting and you're watching, your cameraman is there. He got a camera on a crew of men. I've got 6 men, for instance, on a detail. We call it a detail, and the guy that we're protecting is known as a principal. So you call him the P. So if I got 6 men working on a P, and I'm and something that made me very successful also in the industry is that I made sure that I'm the lead agent on every single detail that is being deployed. So that means everybody, 6 men, all have earpieces. That means you have communication. So I go to fetch an artist on the 15th floor. Okay. I get on the ear. I said, receiving the artist, proceeding to the elevator. The 2 guys that are downstairs, they know that they have to walk to that elevator. Now, when your cameraman sees, he just sees 2 guys getting up and going to stand at the elevator. Then you see me coming down and you see the 2 men receiving us and we're going. Then the vehicle just pulls up because I say, pull up the vehicle up front. We're exiting the elevator. The vehicle just pulls up front. So when you look at it, you'd see like everything is so synchronized and it's so, because you don't hear no screaming, you don't hear no shouting, hey, bring up the vehicle. Because one man is controlling the entire movement strategically and planning. And so everybody becomes professional in that because one man understands his role, he understands his duty, he knows the levels of how this thing has to play out. You understand?
Wow.
Yeah.
How do you guys assess? Sorry, Josh, just
fine.
jump in when you
I'm
want, bro.
listening, bro. I'm not asking.
So in this whole synchronized movement, how do you guys assess your threats now? What like how do you see a bad what are they called? Bad girls that are wanting some Chris Breezy stuff or Drake, whatever.
The thing is this, first of all, nobody knows. Number one, nobody should know where you are.
Okay.
That's number one. Number two, if they do find out, because it's a hotel, someone's going to either see or hear, or someone's going to say something, the staff that is serving in that room is going to leak that information out, is going to see. Your levels of threat and risk are always assessed based on its levels of threats. Now, a normal fan, is not a high-level threat. It's a fan that, if overwhelmed, is going to shout your name, scream, wants a picture with you, want to greet you, get hysterical of that nature. You understand? So what we do is, there's time when the artist is willing to meet public. And there's time when we look at the number of people and we assess what it can cause and what it might lead to. Then we restrict the movement and we restrict his access to public. And we restrict public access to him. So then instead of bringing him down to the foyer, I take him straight down to the underground garage, basement, where the vehicle is parked and we drive off. The people will stay there. I'll bring him back. The people will still stay there because they don't know that he left and they don't know when he came back. You understand?
Yo.
So that's basically what you do. But in overall, 90% of your work is accomplished by advancement. And also that you've done your threats and risk analysis, and you know exactly, and you've done your route planning, and you've done your evacuation. If something happens, how do I get him out of here?
Ever been in a situation where you guys need to evacuate?
Okay, I'm gonna give you. You go on a YouTube, and you'll see. You must type out Chris Brown shots biggest mall in SA down.
Okay. Was it
Right.
Mall of Africa?
Yeah, no, that was
Sentence.
Gateway. That was
Gateway.
Gateway
At the time,
I
okay.
think it was 2012.
Okay.
Yeah, I think 2012. So we come in.
That's when he was on
So
Generations.
I say to Chris, Chris, today is Saturday, and it's the holiday
Packed.
times.
Yeah.
The mall's gonna be packed. But Chris, being Chris, he wants that. He likes a little bit of,
Like
you know,
a buzz.
Some
So he said,
spice.
"Ah, let's go." So he say, hoodie on. We bought a block formation, which is 4 guys, 2 guys in front, 2 guys at the back, 2 guys in the center. We walk.
Sure.
Now you know how you would know is that now is when you need to act. Is when you need to do something. Is when you hear someone saying Chris Brown. Then you know
Now
you're
you
in
know.
trouble.
Now you're in
Then
trouble.
you know you're in trouble.
Okay,
Yeah,
target
stupid.
identified.
Yeah.
Yo.
Where about in Gateway were you in this in the mall?
Yeah, you're in the mall. You're in the mall. So on one of the upper levels,
Yeah.
the center levels, yeah. And so you hear Chris Brown. So
Ish.
you close in
Oh,
and you keep moving.
okay. Wait, sorry. Slow it down there.
Okay.
So you got block formation.
Yep.
There's 3 on the side, 3 on the side, right? Chris Brown. All right, move in.
You move in.
That's it.
So yeah.
Okay.
Close the
So,
detail.
so
Holy
the 4 comes
smokes.
in, the one falls back, one falls in the back, and the 4 blocks you this way.
Sure.
So if the crowd is coming from behind, the guy that's behind the block formation at the back, he stops the crowd.
Okay, turns around.
The guy that's in front, he opens up
Okay.
the way. But the idea is that like Chris is a guy that he wants the mayhem.
Oh, does he?
So
Okay.
what happened is that Gateway went crazy at that moment.
Yes.
Every single person that was in a store came out, including the staff.
Mm.
No one cared about the trolleys. They left their trolleys with the groceries on the side.
Yo.
People ran from the bottom floor to the center floor, from the top floor to the center floor.
That's a
It was
bodyguard's
crazy.
nightmare now. You
It
guys are
was-
stressed.
It was nightmare, but
Yeah.
obviously you don't overwhelm yourself. You
Yeah.
don't get excited. You just keep moving. The idea is to just keep moving. And for as long as you're moving, people do this.
Mm.
And you keep moving. You understand? So who gets to see him, sees him. Who gets to not to see him, don't see him. No one gets to touch him because you don't allow that. And then you got to use strategy. And I told you, that's where your earpieces come. So you come up to the staircase, at the bottom of the staircase, you tell the guy at the back, lock the staircase. So he stands and he blocked the staircase. You carry on to the top. When you get to the top, there's more people there. So the only way to get Chris out of that, after it was like crazy, I had to slip him into one of the restaurants, through to the back, through the kitchen, down, out to the delivery point, bring my vehicles around, out the delivery area, and we were gone.
The restaurant
An
allows this.
hour.
I mean, it's a big man like that,
The,
bro. Who's not
the restaurant had no choice.
Chicken
Oh,
licker.
really?
We went
I
in.
mean, chicken licker.
You guys
gonna
just-
open
We
the
went in
doors ASAP, bro.
because if I allowed him to come into the restaurant, it would have been trashed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So the quicker we get out of there, the better it is for that restaurant.
Right.
And then we got out of the back. I put him into the vehicle. We were gone. An hour and a half. I'm still watching the videos. The people are still in front of the restaurant
Wow.
thinking that he's going to.
They
be
thought
there.
he's like locked in the kitchen or something.
Yeah.
And
So that's an immediate action. Trap.
Wow.
okay,
You know,
That's a
because
story.
you find the
yeah.
exit there.
Yeah, you have to at times. Sometimes it becomes bad because the artist gets saved, but people stampede and get hurt.
I
There's
see.
kids, there's children, there's stairways, there's everything. So people, so one of the things of being a protector, an executive protector on a celebrity of that nature is that you got to also protect not just them from harm, you got to protect their image. You understand? You got to protect their image at all times. So you'll find out that most of the time, like if an artist tells you, hey, I don't want no pictures, I don't want nothing. So I got to be the bad guy.
Yes, of
So I got to
course.
say to you, hey, no picture. And then if you do get across and you say, hey, can we get a pic? He says, okay, fine.
Now,
And yet you told me that you don't
Yeah.
want no pictures. But so I just stay bad all the time, you know?
So you'd say, nah. No.
I say no, then you say, nah, dog,
Even if
it's cool.
even if it's a pretty girl,
It's a-
bro,
it's
she's
a-
pretty. Now
Right,
she's saying
she's
she wants a
fire.
picture.
you
You're
know,
saying,
you know, at that
Hey.
time, you can be how pretty, you can be however. With my line of work, and that's what beats most people
sure.
that get in this line of work. Number one is that you don't know how to stay in the now. You get so overwhelmed. Number one is that you're protecting a celebrity that you feel like you know, and it's what we train our guys that you gotta stay in the now. It's like, you gotta make sure that you don't get overwhelmed and nothing can actually distract you from what you're here to do. You know, I mean, you can have 40 shorties, bad ones, coming in.
40 shorties.
Yeah, you understand?
Yeah,
You
bad
get
ones.
good ones.
Yeah,
bad,
shorties.
really lovely ones,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And you know, the honest truth is, Chris can, or any celebrity can only take one.
Yeah.
So the 39 is there.
Yeah.
What you rushing for?
Oh, there you go. There you go. You're gonna have the leftovers.
We can,
Yeah.
Whoever Chris doesn't pick, you can come through.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see,
Hectic.
so-
Come through to the dog hound.
Yeah,
You're gonna
I
sort you out.
mean, but it's just a thing. Like if I can't get the main artist, I'm gonna get the drummer. I'm gonna get the guitarist.
Okay.
I'm gonna get the
I'm gonna get the
I'm
bodyguard,
gonna get the
bro.
backup singer.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get the dancer.
Jeez.
So it's yeah.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
Yo,
I'm
I'm
still
just thinking
here.
about the 40
Wow.
baddies.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so dog, how much does something like that cost a celebrity?
You see, the amount of when we do a quotation of that nature, it starts from when you leave the States. What do you want me to do? So when you leave the States, what do you want me to do? Okay, you're leaving, you're gonna land here on the 25th of March. When you land on the 25th of March, I gotta start working from the time you contract me. I gotta do the advance work. I've got to meet with the promoters that bring you over. I've got to make sure that whatever you sent me that you requested from the promoter in terms of how many vehicles, the type of vehicles, the make of vehicles, the color of the vehicles.
Oh, they
the
even get
condition
to
of the
that
vehicles.
detail.
Yes, everything has got to be proper.
Sure.
Proper. So I got to make sure that everything that is on that request, it's like basic like a rider. You know what we call a rider?
Okay.
Yeah. So whatever's on there, that it's there. And then I gotta assess everything. I gotta do the route assessments, the routes from the time you come from the airport, the route I'm gonna take to the hotel, from the hotel back to the airport, and then the different places where we are going to go. For instance, you're gonna go to Kaya FM or you're gonna go to Metro FM. You gotta think. So I gotta do all those route assessments. You come back, and then I've got to do the hotel and accommodation. We do all of that, inspection of the hotel, where the vehicles will be staged.
What
type
are
of
you
stuff we
inspecting
have.
Yeah,
at the
how
hotel
do you
when go
inspect the
there?
hotel?
What are you
Yeah,
inspecting
good
there?
At
question.
the
there.
hotel, we're inspecting, first of all, the room that has been allocated.
There's no cameras.
Yeah, there's no cameras. Obviously, there won't be any cameras. But we check the condition of the room, the condition of the beds, the condition of the bathrooms. Is it what you said you are providing? If it's a presidential suite, then it must be a presidential suite. Then we got to look at the access to that floor where the main principal is going to be housed. We got to look at the elevators. If it ends on the 10th floor, can someone access the 11th floor? Understand? So normally, you put a card on your presidential. It takes you straight to the presidential.
Oh,
but
it doesn't stop.
If you got a card that stops you at 10, it's not going to bring you up.
Mm.
You understand? So we do all of that, and then we do the evacuation in case of a fire, in case of emergency. How do I get you out?
Yes.
What is your evacuation plan on this particular
It's
hotel?
detailed, eh?
Yeah. And and then we come, I have a meeting with the hotel manager, and then I have a meeting with the hotel staff, not the entire staff, the staff manager. The hotel manager manages the staff, the people that are going to come in and out the room, etc., etc. And then the security manager on what his role is, how he has to play, and what he needs to do. Because there's times where I'll need him to come with a key and lock the lift and wait until when I get there, that lift is not going up and down, and I don't have to come there and press 15th floor and wait. When I'm 10 minutes out or 5 minutes out, I call him. Mr. Manager, I'm 5 minutes out. Make sure that the elevator is locked and ready. And then the guys that have advanced, they will be standing at that elevator. Obviously, not they'll be like undercover on it, so that no one knows that there's someone's coming.
Oh,
So when I walk in through, and then my guy that already has an advance has already collected the key for the room. So as I walk in with my artist, he walks straight to the elevator. We unlock it and we're gone. So nobody has access. No one knows. We get to the top. So you do all of that, the inspection in there. And we understand, like, for instance, if we want to come down to dinner or you want to come down for breakfast, then I allocate a section in the dining area that is going to be, it's going to be that. That's where he's going to be housed at the time.
Okay.
I think bring your mic a little closer.
Okay, so you're doing all of that stuff. How much does something like that cost, ballpark?
No, besides that, that's now
there's still more.
That's only the pre-advance. Then you do the advance, and then I'm gonna do the logistical deployments now. What do you want? The number of vehicles. Sometimes the artists want me to get the vehicles, supply the vehicles, because we know the name of my company is, by the way, is the Pentagon Group, the Bureau of International Bodyguards and Transportation Services.
Yes.
Wow. So we got armored vehicles, we got luxury vehicles, we got different type of vehicles made for different type of requirements, and then. So you quote on the logistics, and then it's the manpower deployment. For instance, we always deploy like minimum of 2 on a main artist. Minimum of two on a main artist, excluding the secure driver, the VIP driver.
Okay. Oh, so the driver is somebody else. It's a different
be our
person.
driver.
Yeah, but
his duty is just to drive. Hand on the wheel, stay in the vehicle, don't move. So he's not active when the artist is on the move.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
Yeah.
He's always there if you
He's
need
always
him.
there.
And obviously they've got those professional driving licenses.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Advanced
driving.
The PDP, professional driving, that's nonsense.
That's nothing. It's advanced is where it's at.
Yeah. It's the advanced driving techniques and also it's how we brief the driver how to pull up. He gets trained on how the vehicle pulls up, how the vehicle parks, how you drive. There's a special formation that you drive when in convoy. There's a special, there's special formations that you drive within convoy. And in case of an emergency, how do you
respond? Take
this particular principle, evacuate with him while we take on the threat. So then I put all of that together and then I code. So if for instance per day it can you can code something like, you say it's 2 guys, 2 vehicles, and it's the number of days also that counts. Okay. How many days you're gonna be there? So it's a good bag.
So if I had to say,
a lot of money.
Okay, how's a dog? It's myself. I'm going into Nigeria. Okay, I need you to be the team, Pentagon, the Pentagon team. We're there for 10 days. I'm gonna exclude Josh, but we're part of the load shed team. All right.
Yep.
Okay. I need a Bentley. What else do you want? G-Class? G-Wagon. I need a Bentley and a G-Wagon and a minimum of 4 of your guys. Ballpark. Okay, my question is it more than 200K or less than 200K?
No, it's way far more than 200K.
Way more, bro.
Okay, but
we're talking a bar here.
Let me give you an idea. $3,000 per day per guy.
There we go. Simple. Jesus. Easy. Quick math.
Okay, that's like minimum.
That's like minimum protection.
Yeah, that's if I'm like, you caught me on a good day.
Or you being like, I'm okay, let me just give a family discount.
Family discount for my boys at the load shed. 3K.
We can't afford that, bro. We're not even close.
So do you ever get involved though? You yourself?
I'm fully involved in everything.
Lead agent.
I'm a lead agent. I run everything. If you look get through my Instagram, I'm always on a 6 of a principle. I'm main. My guys are on the outer. They will drive. They will secure. They will thin. I deal with the main artist myself. Fetch him, take him in a vehicle, secure him, open, make sure he's here. I'm on 6. 6 is the position that you hold directly behind the artist.
Yeah.
As the six, have you ever had an artist say to you, listen, dog, I just want you to hang out with me tonight. Like, I'm alone
Let's
here.
just chill, bro.
Can we just chill?
But
Have
now
you ever done that?
he's got to be professional. I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Which artists have you just...
I know you're asking male, right?
Male.
I was asking about the female artists.
The females.
I want to know
females
the
also say
female.
that too. They be
If the
like,
females are like, dog, please.
The thing is, you know, you're always going to get that. Simply because sometimes an artist, you completed everything, everybody's gone to their rooms, and they're feeling like now, because I'm in South Africa, and the time in the States is where everybody's waking up. So maybe let me just walk out and make some calls and on the phone, people at home, because it's daytime at home and it's time for me to go to sleep. Yeah. So they want you there, and you stand, they go, they have their conversations and everything, and come and sit and then ask you about yourself. Like, hey, dog, how did you get into this? How? It's like, you have family? Because they think we like, we just orphans because we work around the clock.
Yeah.
They don't hear us answering the phone. Hey, how you doing? Hey, love, I love you. There's no such thing. We don't,
it's
we got no
emotionless.
love. We don't give no love.
Yeah.
We work, Yeah.
That's
we strictly on the MOB.
So sometimes, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sometimes you guarding I don't know, Jennifer Lopez. Yeah.
Oh,
J-Lo.
you're guarding J-Lo.
And she's wearing those leather pants. You know those leather ones.
She goes,
Yeah.
Dar, you want
Now,
to go to the beach?
she's
She'll
like,
be like, hey, listen,
dog,
girl,
do you want to hang out?
No.
What do you say?
Now, there's a line that you don't cross.
Yeah,
Mm.
principal wants me to go to
And,
the
and,
beach.
and it compromises you.
Mm.
If you're protecting someone and you go personally into it, it compromises you.
Sure.
Yeah, especially females.
Yes.
Because you're going to lose complete concentration of what you are there to do. You understand? And I think also professionally, if, say for instance, you do get involved with a protectee, a principal that you are protecting, if you do get involved and word comes out, there's no label, there's no agent, there's nobody that's going to want you to work.
Yeah. Pentagons.
And the worst part about things is this here, it's like, I'm a male artist, for instance. And male artists, they got beautiful girlfriends and beautiful wives. So I'm protecting the male artist. That's my main principle. For instance, let me give you an example. You had Kanye West, you had Kim Kardashian. So Kanye says to his bodyguard, hey, take Kim, she wants to go shopping. You're contracted by Kanye West for his family. And then he says to you, there's an example. When Kim Kardashian and her sisters went on holiday, and then Kanye sent his main protector, bodyguard, because this is my wife, go with her. And then he was fully assigned to Kim Kardashian, only Kim Kardashian. And then the sisters wanted to go out to a club. And they went out to a club. But before they went, they forced Kim to come with them. So Kim said, no, I'm not going out. I'm staying in today. I'm not feeling too good. I'll stay in. You guys can go and take the bodyguard with you. Then the bodyguard said, no, I'm assigned to you. Can we get hold of Kanye? She said, I'm telling you. I'm telling you, go with my sisters, go protect them. And then the bodyguard went. Biggest mistake he has ever made. Because when he went, then the guys broke into the place. And how? Because they were in a club with the cameras, the phones.
There he is.
And posting live. And the main protector, was there with the sisters. So they looked around, these guys looked and they saw Kim is not here.
Yo.
And it's fine, they saw Kim is not there, but they thought that everybody is out the flat.
Yeah.
So they went into the flat.
This is in France.
Into the apartment
Paris.
in France. Yeah, Paris. They went in there and they ransacked, but Kim was in.
Sure.
And when he came back,
That's it.
he lost his job.
That's it. So you
You lost
cannot
your job.
leave your principle.
You cannot
Rule number
at
one.
all, no, at all. In our game of life, in our game and this professional game that we do, we think procedure is your killer. It's your biggest killer. So if procedure states clearly that when assigned to a principal, you will not desert. You stick with that principle.
Tell me about the
Yeah.
different convoys now.
Yeah.
Okay, formation. I'm so interested in these.
Oh, the formations. You got different
Driving.
type of formations.
Yeah.
Have you seen, okay, I'm sure you drive. You've seen
The blue light brigade is
presidential
always
blue light.
taking me out there.
Yeah.
All right. So what about the
Yeah.
And they
presidential
drive
one?
like this, like
Yes, it's
Hey, they
called a
taking
staggered
me-
formation.
Okay.
Staggered formation. So you got a vehicle in the front, right? The vehicle, maybe it's to the left, and the next vehicle will be to the right-hand corner of this vehicle. Right?
the principles in
The
this one.
principle, the principle is always in the center. There's always a lead, there's a main vehicle, and there's a backup vehicle. Right? So it's staggered formation simply because the speed that we drive is very high speed. So what happens? So there's a vehicle in the front, there's a main vehicle on the side, and there's this vehicle here. Now, why we do that and we go bumper to bumper at high speed is that if this car brakes, I brake. And the reason that this car is here is so that I can see the brake lights of that lead vehicle. So it allows me to brake when that vehicle is braking. You understand?
See.
So yeah. So it's and it's also the way we protect is that if there's a threat on the left-hand side, the main vehicles move to the right, the lead and the backup comes and covers this vehicle. And if the threat is on the right-hand side, the main vehicle moves to the left and is covered in that fashion. And then when you're approaching where you are actually going, your destination, the lead vehicle breaks off from the convoy and goes in advance and deploys so that the manpower is deployed on the outside. So when you come, no would-be attackers can go towards the vehicle because manpower is deployed. Because when you're in a vehicle, you're sitting duck. You understand?
But do you not? I always think about this. If you've got this whole formation happening, but your actual principal could be in a Toyota Taz far back. Just this is just the illusion. But the principle's in a Taz.
It
at
don't
the
work
back.
like that. You know what happens if you need to evacuate? What car does a Taz ever beat?
Yeah, but that's what I'm
Except
saying.
another Taz.
You guys don't. You're doing it. You're doing it undercover there.
How many people are gonna come and take you out?
Easy.
Yeah.
Quick sticks.
You're out, so you don't even take that risk.
No, you don't take that risk.
Wow.
You don't take that risk.
There's a question that I've been wanting to ask. from
Sorry,
the very
Josh.
start,
Go for it. Yeah.
And respectfully, I know you've always had a very good relationship with Keenan Forbes,
Oh, okay.
aka sadly he's no longer here. One of the
Yeah.
greatest artists to touch South African soil
Yeah.
and be part of our soil. A lot has been said about his passing, and we've heard a lot of stories about him.
Mhm.
What happened that night?
Or what's your view?
What's your view, rather,
Because
on what happened that night?
we
Because
saw you on TV. You
we
weren't
see the
there.
footage. We see the footage of what happened. His
Yeah.
guards were just. There was no structure.
Nah,
You know?
I think what really happened is that who had that planned, took advantage of the opportunity of where procedure again failed. Number one. Number two, whoever had planned to take Keenan out strategically knew exactly how they are going to take him out. And that night, even if, I'm not going to say if I was there, it would have been different. The protector that was deployed with Keenan that night had no chance. Absolutely no chance. Because the manner in which he was moving his principal, Keenan, to the vehicle and having eyes, with us, it's the rule of the game was eyes on your P at all times. And as soon as you lose your eyes, you take your eyes off a principal, it splits of a second. When you turn back, it's gone. You understand? So everything was according to the book. You come out with your principal. You assess left, you assess right, you assess, okay, no dangers. The vehicle is parked there, which is not supposed to be parked there anyway. But it's parked there because now you go in.
Yes.
All right?
Wasn't it supposed to?
And then he's on 6 with Keenan.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're on 6 with Keenan, one of the rules as a bodyguard is that your principal never ever touches a door handle. You always make sure that you pass in due time to open that door so that your principal goes in. And the reason is because you give him full cover in closing and you behind him. And also the respect that he's a VIP. He don't ever open his own door. You understand? So what happened is that the timing that he was walking behind Keenan, he walked around Keenan to go open the door. At that time, Tibbs, that's on the left-hand side, calls Keenan and he goes and he greets him. So without having eyes behind your head, you turn around looking for your principal because you need to usher him into the vehicle. When you turn around, that's when the advantage was taken and he was taken out. So the space that was between the vehicle, the space that was between the bodyguard, and the space that was between Keenan, that Keenan had an opportunity to move on this side. You understand?
So, was there meant to be, would you have rather there be two protectors, or was there just one?
Was there one? Or
There was
two?
just one protector.
There's one.
Yeah,
guy.
but that's another thing.
I've protected Keenan for ages.
As a one
Most
man.
of the time as one man.
Yeah.
Most of the time as one man. And at times when we like going to deal with like a lot of crowds and stuff, then I'll have a second guy. But most of the time it was one man.
But isn't it difficult as one man?
Because you've got to open doors.
You've got to open the doors, keep your eyes on, keep them close. That doesn't
tough
sound
job
easy.
for one guy.
It doesn't sound simple.
It
Also, your principal has just had a good time, so he's gonna pull
Wanna
some rank,
chat and speak,
surely.
you know?
So I mean, that must be a tough situation. And there's a driver. Was there a driver?
There was a driver.
So what I wanted to ask you is, was the driver supposed to pull up only in time?
The driver is just a driver.
Okay.
So when promoters book an artist, and if they provide a vehicle, they provide a vehicle with a driver.
Okay.
Unfortunately, on that particular time, because I don't ever work with anybody's vehicle and anybody's driver. I use my vehicle and I drive.
Okay.
You understand? So on that time, everybody knew I'm not there. So they needed to request a vehicle. They got a vehicle and come. The thing is this year, now you understand the game. You have a bit of insight on the protective industry. But exactly what you're saying to me, tell that to a normal musician or tell that to normal layman. And then when you tell him that, tell him what it's going to cost him to have two guys. So for him, it's like it worked because it worked for me, protecting Keenan for 8 years. It worked, and Keenan's not the only artist where I had only one bodyguard on, So the thing is, people don't look at it, and that's why most of our work is intelligence driven. You got to know a lot beforehand. And if there's even some kind of threat or some kind of hint of a threat, you got to treat it very, very seriously.
Sure.
You got to treat it very, very seriously.
Did you have prior threats when you were with AKA before this incident though?
No, I didn't have prior threats, but I'm from an industry where I understand the world and I understand the ground. So when people talk, when information come to me and stuff like that there. So even if I wouldn't communicate it wholeheartedly or fully to prevent you and put you in a position where every time you're performing, you're going to be looking around you and stuff like that. But I do inform you, you know what I mean, informally. And my job is to make sure that whether you pay or don't pay, the fact that you hired me means preservation of life at all cost. So I used to add on. I used to put my bulletproof vehicle and transport Keenan in an armored vehicle. An armored vehicle costs 25 grand a day.
Yes.
To transport you. You don't have that kind of money to pay me.
So
But I needed to make sure that, because it's my job.
Preservation of life.
Yes.
So you and Keenan had more of a friendship than a professional relationship.
We one thing that exists with me, and not only with Keenan, but most of the celebrities that I work with, is that we have a very, very good relationship. Because I'm of a stage in my profession where I understand work is work. And when we can sit and talk about something and chat and have cordial conversations and stuff, that's it. We can have that. But when it comes to the duties that you're paying me for, it's completely different. And that's a respect that I have from every single celebrity that I worked with. You understand? So I had I got very good relationships with every celebrity that you can think about.
So if you were in the US and you ran into Chris Brown, what would it be like? Is he your friend now? How do you address it? How would he address it?
You know, when you're a protector, when you've protected someone and you've made sure that he gets in and he gets out uninterrupted. You came on a show, you performed, you done everything. When Chris went back home, he tweeted. He said, "No way in my whole world tour was I ever protected Secret Service style like I was in South Africa."
Wow.
Nice.
You can go on there, you'll see. You go on a music video. I'm the only protector that you'll ever see on Chris Brown's music video.
Yeah.
And the music video is called Home, Home. You understand? So it's how they celebrate you also. You understand? And I respect time and I respect people and I respect boundaries and stuff like that. Like Kendrick Lamar, for instance, I look after Kendrick Lamar. He had such a good relationship with me. I mean, we spent a lot of days together with his entire family. And when I was in the States, he was in Atlanta recording. He made sure, hey, I see you in the States. He made sure his guys brought me over, greeted him. He was performing at the Super Bowl. Yeah, and in that year. And, a lot of our artists, like J.Cole, I went on tour with J.Cole on 33 cities in the United States with a KOD tour. It's Killer Demon tour. I've seen more places in the United States than normal US citizen.
Yeah.
On tour. I've done 33 cities with J.Cole, Young Thug, Jaden Smith, and Earth Gang.
Wow.
You see,
What's the culture like though in the USA compared to here? I asked you the question at gym the other morning. I said, hey, what's the difference with the ladies on that side versus the ladies on this side?
The culture is that it's
the ladies.
Yeah, we were just talking about like at the shows, the ladies, versus yeah.
Went from culture to ladies. Okay.
No, he's talking about like the culture.
Oh, I see. Okay.
The uncultured culture.
Culture with the K.
No.
Yeah, no. The thing is, I've traveled like a lot of places around the world. It's in South Africa, and I'm gonna say this, without no prejudice within, our colored ladies are the most beautiful in the world.
Amen.
The originality,
amen.
Everything about it, as you're not gonna find it.
Amen.
You preaching.
In America, everybody is show and tell. You see all the music videos. All those people you'll see in every music video. Don't think that's how America is made up of those beauties. It's not. It's not. There's a lot of Latinos. America is made up of a lot of different people coming into United States.
They're not really American.
Yeah, but the culture is good because the people are good, and obviously if they know where you're from and if you're in a circle, they make you feel at home, man. Really. They make you feel at home. And they invite you home. They take you around. They show you everything. You become accustomed to it so much. And because they also understand that, you're far from home. And it's the way you move. You understand? It's the way you move. In our game, you can't be a superhero on your job. And you can't be a superhero when you're off the job. You just got to stay humble. You got to stay grounded. And when people see you, they don't even know what you do. They don't even know where you come from, how you roll. You understand? So I think if you can master that in life, that way you can be humble and grounded. And you don't need to brag about everything that you do.
Sure.
It's like, let your success speak for itself. And you just, you hustle quietly.
Sure.
Yeah.
Have you...
Go.
Have you ever felt intimidated by an artist that you guarded? For example, there's some artists like 21 Savage and those guys with reputations that obviously people know about, some bad behavior here and there. Have you ever had an artist like that where you were like, I don't know, like with this guy, what's going on?
Nah, I've never ever had that. I think simply because like you treat every artist as a project. You take his face and you block it. And you say, how will I protect this guy? My job is to make sure he stays alive. He makes sure that he performs uninterrupted. He comes into the country uninterrupted, unhurt, unbothered. He doesn't do things that will put him in jail in South Africa. He doesn't do things that will give him bad publicity. His movement will be decently organized and everything. So who you are, and that's what makes it easy for us. Is that for me, you are normal. You understand. You are P to me, and the P applies to. It can be Bill Clinton, it can be Obama, it can be Chris Brown, it can be Rick Ross, it can be Nicki Minaj, it can be anybody. You understand? It can be anybody. The principles around what you do remains the same. And so I've never ever had an opportunity or ever encountered. And sometimes an artist travels with protection. Sometimes an artist, he travels with maybe one or two guys. You've seen them. Sometimes they come with these huge guys.
Yeah.
These
How does
big
that
guys.
work then? What do you guys do in that case? It's a meet and greet. It's a braai.
No, it's like
Professional
you see,
to
the thing
professional.
is this here. Let me ask you something. If you come into South Africa, you have never been here before. You can't carry a gun in this country. You come from the United States. You know no one, you know nothing. The only thing you know that if 3 people or 2 people come towards my artist, I'm going to push them because of my size, whatever. And if I push them, you don't even know if they're going to go and charge you for assault. And then you're going to sleep the whole tour. You'll be in jail because we're not giving you bail because you're not from this country. And the pressure that you're going to use in pushing people and whatever. So when you come here, I school you before you come here, and I tell you, you're coming into uncharted waters. One duty I'm going to give you, and only worry about the principle. The rest you leave to me and my guys. So we do the entire protection, the entire planning. So basically, he's a tag along.
Yeah.
Yo.
He's a tag along.
Is there
And he's a
any-
liaison sometimes.
Is it?
You know,
And
he's a liaison. He'll get a message from his manager. His manager will come tell him, you know, hey, just brief dog on this and this. And then he'll brief me because you're going to speak what you need to a security specialist. The security specialist is going to speak to me. So when I answer him and when I tell him that's not how it's supposed to be, it's going to be like this, you'll understand it. When you're a tour manager, you're not going to understand it because you're an academic. And I can't speak the protective language to an academic. You understand?
Sure. Have you ever been shot at?
I've never ever been shot at.
For now.
Hmm?
Not yet.
For always.
For always.
Yeah.
I wanted to go back, dog. I wanted to go back, dog. Sorry to the AKA thing. You were busy that day. You were actually did you have another principal that you were with?
Yeah, I had an international celebrity, so I work with Dreamville a lot. All the Dreamville artists, you know.
Okay.
You know Dreamville.
Yes.
J.cole, Dreamville.
Shane,
Bass.
Nico.
Yes. Meek Mill. Yes.
So I was working with Bass. Now what happens is this is what really messes up the schedules. An international artist is booked 3 or 4 months in advance. So he ties me down 3 or 4 months in advance. For what we in now, February, March, April, May, June. He says 15th of June to the 20th of June, I'm going to be in a country, dog. You good? I look at my schedule. I'm not working with no one. Fine. That's it.
What do
My
you
bag
need?
in a bank, and then we good. They drop it. We solid. And then the local artist, he can, today's Thursday, he can get a call to perform on Saturday.
Sure.
So you understand? So when you're looking for me, hey, dog, I'm in Durban on Saturday. You're telling me this on Thursday. And yet I've been booked 3 months in advance. You understand? And the thing with international celebrities is, number one, is that they contract me. They don't contract the company. Although it's my company, they contract the company, but me.
Like
They don't want no one else.
physically,
They
you need to be
me.
there. Yeah.
They wouldn't want no one else. And so I had to be on that job because I'm contracted to that job. And so on that particular time, is that like, you know, the guys, I think they booked, I got a call maybe on Tuesday, Wednesday, hey dog, are you going to be in Durban this weekend? AK, you got a gig. Say, hey, no, I'm in Joburg, man.
But you don't have a recommendation. You don't. What you not say? I'm in Joburg. But what about?
No.
XYZ.
You see what I do is I work with guys. Like for instance, I had the guy working with me on 4 gigs with AKA so that he becomes familiar and he sees how we operate. And also AKA must see the protector and he's happy with the protector. So when he deploys, you're seeing a familiar person, someone that you saw how he moves and he's you know what I mean? And I wouldn't put anyone that I know is not going to, because AKA is my long-standing client. The artist come for 5 days and he goes, AKA is with me for years. And besides, it's like, it's personal. My protection over him, it's personal. You understand? Yeah.
Yo, so that must have hit you hard then, eh?
Yeah, it hit me in like a lot of ways. You understand? In a lot of ways, it's like, why weren't I there? Number one. What if I was there? Was I also going to be taken out? You understand? You don't ever rule that out. You know, was it God's timing? And how could we have done that better? You understand? It hits you because there's someone that you'll always hear him. I mean, you know, when you spend so much of time with an artist, like for instance, 2 gigs before AKA passed on, I picked him up at the airport and we drove to Lusigi for a gig. Now, you know how far Lusigi is from the airport. So you're sitting and we talk and there's laughs and we jokes and we just talk about life and everything. And, you know, and every time when we sat and we're in a vehicle, so I've been driving him, protecting him for years through everything, you know. So you'll always, and he was a guy that there was never, ever a dull moment, you know. When he says, hey, I'm coming to town, or when his manager phoned me, hey, talk with him, I used to get happy and excited. It wasn't so much about the money. Seriously, it wasn't so much about the money, but it was like, you know, it was something good now that I'm protecting someone that I know that, like, you know, what I mean? Loving protection.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
Yeah. And you know what? He gave me the same kind of respect. He gave me the same kind of love. He appreciated me. He made sure that, you know, he'll make a video, hey, dog, thank you for protecting me and my family. Thank you for taking care of me. Thank you for whatever. He'll make these videos. He was always, you understand, he would come and say, hey, let's take some pictures, take photos and stuff like that. So Kenan was a top guy, period, you know.
Good guy.
He was a good guy. He was a good guy. You know, normally we just say, you know, you only talk good about a person when he's dead.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, because if he wasn't as I would have told you.
Yeah.
I'm straightforward. I would have told you.
Yeah.
You know?
What's next for Pentagon? Like, how big are you gonna get going here?
You know, my aim is never ever to be like, you know, big. My aim is to have sustainability of the services that I provide, to make sure that the standards have never ever dropped. The milestones that I've set up for Africa are still going to be achieved, basically. The benchmarks that I set up in South Africa, in Africa as a continent, are still going to be achieved. You know, I've got proteges, guys that work with me that I mentor, and that I'm putting them in the industry, and they've worked with me with like a lot of artists. If you look at like the last couple of artists that we worked now over November, December, and October, I worked with Deborah Cox, we worked with Music Soul Child, we worked with Tesha Cobbs, we done the Swedish House Mafia. I did her, and yeah. So and I have the guys working with me. So they worked with like Tamia. We done.
Oh, Tamia was here last year.
Tamia, I did the entire.
Tamia is the reason a lot of us are born, huh?
Yeah, I did
that album there. That produced
I did
a lot
the entire Tamia concert with the thing. So what's good with how I work is that I work the entire tour. Durban, Joburg, Cape Town, wherever. It's
Sure.
nice to have a moving client. So
What's-
you work everywhere with the client. So the guys that work with me is that like I mentor, and I know one day that they will actually take this baton and move on. Yeah.
With the guys that you pull into your team, what are you looking for in a guy?
Background
if a guy
check.
comes to you and he says, "Listen, dog, I want to be part of your team," what do you expect from this guy?
The first, I think the most important thing is that you can't want to be a part of my team. You got to have the passion for the industry. You got to have you got to be in you that, listen, I'm willing to take this on for long term. It's not short term. You're not gonna come in here, work with the artists, get some pictures, post on Instagram, go on Facebook, get excited, and then you're leaving. You got to be serious about this industry, and then you got to come in and you got to be very, very obedient. You got to be highly disciplined. You got to be highly driven, and then you got to be physically fit, obviously, and you got to be someone that wants to keep your mouth shut, listen, look, and learn. Because the hardest part of my job is exertion. Exertion is the tiredness and stuff like that. Because, for instance, Chris Brown will land here just using Chris Brown's example, he'll land here at 7 a.m. in the morning. We're at the airport from 5 a.m. You're waiting, everything is set up. You pick him up, you take him, you put him in his room, he's going to sleep. He wakes up at 1500, you're still on duty, you haven't slept. 1500, you get up, he wants to go and do some things, he does whatever he's doing. He comes back. Then you got to get ready. By 1900, we're going for a pre-party. You go to the pre-party until tomorrow morning at maybe 4, 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock in the morning, you come back with a whole lot of people to the lobby. From the lobby to the hotel rooms. Then you're staying up until all those people have to leave. Obviously, we lock it down. We take everybody's cell phones, put in a box, and we put you in.
No phones, no phones.
No phones are not allowed, eh?
Yeah.
No. And then we lock it down. And then 7, 8, 9, then we take everybody out. Then he goes to sleep. Then you're going to go to your room. You're going to change. You're going to wash, whatever, get something to breakfast. And then you're going to get dressed and wait. And then you got to go for sound check. He gets up. You go for sound check. You finish sound check. You're coming back to his. You leave him at the room. You lock down. You don't know what time he's going to come up. And then we're going now to the show. Then you go to the show. The show is a 2-hour flat or 3 hours. You're standing there. You're in position. It's tight. Everything is it's locked. When you finish that show, it's an after party. Straight to the club. You go to the club right till the next morning. The next morning, 5, 6 o'clock. Our flight is 10 o'clock to the next city.
You haven't even had a wink
10 a.m.
of
in
sleep.
the next city.
You haven't slept.
Yeah, I'm just giving you an example. So
Jeez.
people mustn't think that the glitz and glamour of the job is about not the hard work. You finish there, you're going to the next city. The next city, you're running through the same procedure. You understand? So if you don't understand this, and if you're not fit enough, and if you don't know how to make time to have your breaks, and what type of food to eat, and how to roll, you're not going to want to be in this trade.
Don't apply to the Pentagon.
You're not going to think.
Sure.
Yeah, don't. With me, I'm prepared to take any young man and any person that's willing to make a career out of this. This is like me, I'm a bodyguard of fortune. My entire fortune that I have today has been built by bodyguarding.
Sure. Thank
Everything.
you, dog. Hopefully we can get some of your peas on our couch.
Hopefully one day we
hopefully.
can be the peas, bro.
Hey,
That would
bro.
be so nice.
I
That would
know,
be so
bro.
nice.
Yeah, when you guys are visiting my new restaurant that I've got,
We're
PMD,
gonna hop
We need
onto
to.
this
it's the
restaurant.
Essence Cafe and
We
Grill.
let's shoot a
We should shoot
podcast
something there.
Yeah.
I said that, but I want you to come experience this as well.
Yeah.
No, it's a good experience.
That's exciting. No, we're gonna be around
I
the
was
corner. there.
telling you need to like do something like that, inspirational, something that's like, because people out there are not exposed to what can exist, what is possible, and they think that everything is impossible. You understand? It's only impossible when you realize that now you can't do anything further. But if you don't even start doing it, you failed already. You understand? So I think that our industry is a nice industry. It's good. It's good money. Like the bodyguards, for instance, they earn between like 2.5 to 3 grand a day. So maybe some of them entry level 1.5 a day.
What do they
So
do
if
when
you-
they're not working? Gymming,
But then no,
training.
really, they train. They can train. You can gym. You can keep yourself going. But there is other deployments.
Mm.
You deploy. There's guys. The guys in my industry, in my company, are permanently employed bodyguards.
Okay.
That work like Monday to Sunday with principals, Monday to Friday on time offs and stuff like that.
Sure.
Yeah. And there's other guys that are on the celebrity protection side. We take them, we utilize them elsewhere. And then the reason why we pull our own crew, because we had one standard and we have unique training for all these people.
Mm.
You understand?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the most important part.
Yeah.
But based on where you've come from, it's like nobody can really tell you otherwise because you've walked the talk in this industry, like literally from Machingelan
That's
all the way. You
to the
literally
top.
know it all, and you seems like you're continuing to learn.
Yeah, you're never ever too old to learn.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like me, I still fly to the States. I was in the States, I think last year. I went to do an advanced course. So you just keep up, you just keep working, iron sharpens iron. You just keep doing it all the time. You understand? And the main thing is be ahead of the pack.
That's exactly how you are.
Be ahead of the pack. The day when someone reaches, I'll be retired. See, that's the thing.
Yeah, so you're definitely the go-to man in this
dog.
country. The dog. Yeah, you're definitely the dog.
Yeah.
And
in other places, there's goats. Here we go, I'm a dog.
thank you, man. Thanks so much.